Hello everyone, Sheek here with another Transformers review, and today I'll be reviewing the Transformers Legacy Evolution Snarl. And here he is out of the packaging, and he is a nice little compact dinosaur. I think he's honestly one of the best looking ones in both his robot mode and dino mode. In addition to, being able to form a combiner limb, although his combiner limb is probably his weakest mode, which, I mean, if you're thinking of him as a standalone figure, actually pretty good in that regard. He does come with a little gray sword, which is pretty cool. Let's take a look at that noggin of his. You can see he does have a mouth, but it looks like maybe there's a little too much paint. Maybe there wasn't just enough detail, but there is the nose, blue for the eyes. The head does rotate, and it does do a full 360. It looks like he does have an Autobot emblem spot, but no Autobot emblem, but that'd be a good place to put a Repro label, Toy Hacks label right there. Ball joints on the arms, little hinge right there. It looks like but no pin, so it could pop off. A nice little backpack that is a combiner part that comes off and goes somewhere else, but to transform between robot mode and dino mode, you do not have to remove that, which is a nice little detail. Yeah, so there's a decent amount of detail. I'd say he is really good, with the exception of the hollow tail bit. But other than that, I mean, he is quite impressive for his size and considering he's a mainline figure. Like I said, on a ball joint for the arm, can go out about that far, not all the way. Can go forward that far, back that far, and it can, no bicep rotation, over 90-degree bend at the elbow. That's also a little bit for dino mode leg. Forward that far for the legs, back that far. He can almost do the full splits, but if you try, you'd probably end up popping his legs off. Over 90-degree bend at the knee. And no ankle tiltage, but there is just a little bit of slight angle for the feet so that you can still get him posed with his legs akimbo rather than straight up like that. And here we have all the Dinobots together in their robot modes. And the order does change just a little bit from worst to best or best to worst. Overall, still best in all the modes except for the leg mode, but in the individual modes, Snarl is still the best. He's awesome. Then, in this case, Swoop is next best, then Slug, or Slag, and then Grimlock, then Scar, and then Sludge. Sludge looks the worst in his robot mode. Out of all of them, he's probably the worst. But, yeah, they're a nice little bunch. But yeah, definitely think that Snarl is the best. Alright, to get him into dinosaur mode, and I think he looks so adorable. Very convincing, very close to the way G1 Snarl is supposed to look, and looks like just a miniaturized version of Studio Series Snarl, which I think is also really cool. So yeah, that's about it for that. So let's go ahead and get him. Wait, before we get into this combined mode, there is a place you can store his sword, right on his chest right there. Just tab that in, although it doesn't really want to stay in there usually, but you can get it in there. And there you have him there, although he doesn't want to sit flat because of the sword. So just take that off and then he sits flat. Here we have them all together in their dino modes, and they look pretty cool together. And I think he probably has the best out of all of them. And then maybe Slug, or originally called Slag, but for whatever reason they changed his name to Slug. I'd say these two are probably best. And then Scar, and then Grimlock, then Sludge, followed lastly by Swoop. Swoop looks the worst, mainly just because of the feet. If it wasn't for that, Swoop would probably be a little bit higher, but that's it for the dino modes. But yeah, he, I think, looks probably one of the best. Okay, so to get him into his combined limb mode, so, now we have part 6 of 6 for Volcanicus, so let's bring in the rest. And here we have dun 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 dun. Let's plug that in. There we are. And here we have Volcanicus. Let's go ahead and tilt this up. So here we have Swoop, Scar, Grimlock, Snarl, Sludge, and Slug. And this is pretty meh. I mean, it's not the worst combiner I've seen. It's actually fairly decent. I mean, but the legs are very, well, stumpy at best. And then the arms, this arm's okay. Swoops is a little spindly. I am thinking of looking at getting one of the upgrade kits to make this into a better combiner that has combiner feet that go underneath here, and I think better hands, or at the very least things to make this more of an arm, because as you can see, there isn't much that you can do for arms. It's still better than G1 Devastator as far as articulation is concerned, but not by too terribly much. But anyway, head rotates, arm rotates, bicep rotation, a little bit of bend there. Nothing at the wrist, obviously, because the way it attaches. Then bend there at the arms, a little bit different because of Swoop's legs, but it's really stiff. Waist rotation. Legs can go forward that far, back that far, and a decent amount of bend, except Grimlock tends to move out of the way. That one stays in place quite well. Yeah. That's about it for that. So this isn't the worst combiner I've ever seen, but considering it's a miniature chug one that has been made, I'd say it's actually pretty decent. Anyway, that is about it for Transformers Legacy Evolution Dinobot Snarl, and of course Volcanicus. And if you'd like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. And until next time, have a good one, everyone.